Hey there, welcome to the trading sessions video. The Forex market is 24 hours a day, 5 days a week. And during the 24-hour day, it's broken down into 3 major trading sessions. So we'll take a look at those. And out of those 3 major trading sessions, there is one that is actually the best to trade. So we'll take a look at that as well. 24 hours a day, 5 days a week. Forex market is open 24 hours a day. This is a huge draw for a lot of traders. The stock market is very limited in its hours during the day that it can be traded. The Forex market is open 24 hours around the clock, 5 days a week. It opens at 5 p.m. Eastern Sunday afternoon as the Asia market opens, and then closes at 5 p.m. Eastern Friday afternoon as the New York closes for the business week. Now, out of that 24 hours a day, not all are good hours to trade. Trading works best when at least one of the countries of the currency pair you're trading is in their business hours. For example, if you're trading the Euro USD, you want at least one of them, the Euro, the Europe, or the US, to be doing business. If there's no business being done by either of those currencies, then there is no money changing hands, essentially. And there is no volume, there is no trading, there is no buying or selling of those currencies, there is no supply and demand, and all of those things that make the market change its exchange rate. So if one of the currencies that you're trading, the Euro, USD, you at least want to have Europe open for business, doing some business with somebody. So that way you're going to get that fluctuation in price. Now, the 3 major trading sessions, they're named after the financial centers. So the Tokyo session is the Asian session, and it is 5 p.m. Eastern to 4 a.m. Eastern, or 12 a.m. GMT to 9 a.m. GMT. Then you have the London session, or the Great Britain and European session, and that goes from 3 a.m. Eastern to 12 p.m. Eastern, or 8 a.m. GMT to 5 p.m. GMT. And then finally, you have the New York session, or the North American session. And this goes from 8 a.m. Eastern to 5 p.m. Eastern, or 1 p.m. GMT to 10 p.m. GMT. So that's the Tokyo session, the London session, and the New York session. And here we've got kind of a chart representation. So you can see how they overlap. On the lower 2 charts, you've got the Eastern time, and then the bottom one is the GMT, or London time. And you can see how the different sessions overlap each other. So London starts, and as they're carrying on business, halfway through London, New York will open, and then you've got London and New York doing business at the same time. Halfway through New York, the London session closes, so you've got New York all by itself. There in the charts, you've got Sydney, but they don't carry very much weight. It's more of a filler between the end of New York and the beginning of Tokyo. They do carry business. Business goes on because it's a global economy. There is always some action. There's always something going on. But the bulk of the action happens during London and New York. With that being said, the best session to trade is hands down the London session. The market can and often does change direction when the New York session begins, but that's okay. There's volatility, and that is tradable. There is money to be made. Once London closes for the day, the remaining New York session is pretty quiet. The entire Tokyo session is really quiet enough that most traders try to avoid attempting to trade it. The market can move during Tokyo, but it's limited and choppy. The trading sessions will impact your trading on the smaller time frames. So the smaller the time frame you choose to trade, the more you're going to notice the ins and outs of the different sessions. The 4-hour and the daily time frames aren't affected like the 5-minute or the 15-minute time frames, even the 1 hour. During the off season or the off sessions, you have the end of the New York after London is closed through the beginning part of the Tokyo session. There isn't a lot of money changing hands. The end of New York's the only session that's open for business, the last half of New York, but there's nobody to do business with. so there is not a lot of money changing hands, so the market becomes very, very quiet. Asia, same thing. When Asia opens, there's not a whole lot of business going on, not a lot to change hands. But as soon as London opens, then Asia can start to interact with London, and then London and Europe, they interact. There's a lot of business going back and forth. There's volatility, and there is tradable opportunities. The market starts to move. And then, of course, New York opens halfway through London, and there's just more countries to interact with. There's trading going on. There's money, markets are moving. But then again, once London closes, the last half of New York, very quiet because there's no longer anybody to trade with. The markets slow right down. Thank you for watching the trading sessions video. I will see you in the next video.